Hi, everybody. I am going to wait just a few minutes, see if we get some people in line. I think the Facebook looks to be still uploading my information. So, welcome on this Tuesday evening, June 8th. Um, thank you for joining me. And if you are watching this after the live event, thank you for joining me. Uh, today's meditation. Sorry, Tracy's texting me. Um, today's meditation is going to be a really lovely one. I did it earlier this week with a client, and she found it enormously helpful. It kind of reminded me of how helpful this meditation can be. Um, so I'm Lara Kane. I am the owner of Torch Wellness Center, or Torch Center for Wellness, or Torch Wellness. Haven't even really decided on a complete name yet, but um, the goal of Torch Wellness is to help people. I think it's kind of it's a combination of kind of teaching and healing. So to help people through my knowledge of medicine, I'm a psychiatric physician assistant and I practice holistic psychiatry. And I'm very interested in helping people understand their bodies, understand their diets, understand physical exercise. I really want to empower people to be able to take control of their lives and understand that a lot of the suffering that we experience is self-inflicted. And life is always going to be hard. Life will be good, life will be bad. Um, we get equal parts of both, because everybody comes to me and they say they want to be happy. And I was like, well, if you want to be happy, that's an inside job. It's not going to happen outside of you. And as much as we struggle to control our circumstances, to find the perfect job, to find the perfect spouse, to find the perfect house, um, it never turns out to be perfect. So it's all about really looking inward and coming to terms with our beliefs and our expectations and our coping mechanisms, and really coming to terms with the dysfunctional ways that we are interfacing with reality. Or what I find is most of our pain is because we're refusing to accept reality on reality's terms. So we kind of deny what is. And that causes a significant amount of suffering. So when I was working with my client this week, she's had a lot of trauma in her past. And she was talking about how when her mother passed away, she felt even more vulnerable. And her mom had passed away a few years ago, so it wasn't a long time ago, but that she was feeling even more vulnerable and more on alert, kind of watching for people who were going to harm her or cause suffering to her. And so we talked about that a little bit and explored what her mother meant to her and why, after her mother had passed away, she felt that there was some level of protection, some level of, somebody watching out for her that was taken away, when her mother passed. And then we did this meditation, this angel wings meditation that I'm going to walk you through. And she felt that the meditation was enormously helpful. And I encouraged her to start using it anytime she felt vulnerable or anytime she felt doubtful of herself. And I encourage you, this is when I use the angel wing meditation. Um, when that internal critic kind of goes crazy in my head, which it does a lot. And, or when I'm feeling insecure, when I'm feeling lonely. Um, the reality is, um, all of that's none of that's real. Feeling lonely or being judgmental of ourselves. It feels real, right? But in the end, it's just a state of mind. So that self-criticism is just something that we're allowing to happen because we could very easily get distracted. So here we're criticizing ourselves, and then we're maybe criticizing ourselves for buying the lottery ticket. We put the ticket in the machine and we learn we won. How quickly does this self-judgment change? Oh my gosh! And then we get this rush of endorphins and everything. It's a completely different state of mind. It's remarkable. Um, Same thing happens. You go to the doctor, there's something wrong, a pain, a lump, a bump, whatever. And then the doctor's like, well, let's biopsy it. And so you get it biopsied and you've got a week to wait. Oh my gosh, the worry, the fear. Oh my goodness, the stories that get created. And then you go in and see the doctor, and the doctor's like, nope, you're fine. It's nothing. Complete change of mind. Right then, instantaneous. So we can do that really anytime. It's pretty remarkable. Um, and so this angel wing meditation, I think, is a meditation that we can do to really shift kind of our state of being. So let's get started. I'm just going to see. I think we're online. I see Tracy. She is welcoming everybody. So I'd like for you to get comfortable. You know, I would like for you to make sure that you can kind of sit and not have your arms crossed or your legs crossed. And make sure that you feel supported and you're in a place that you won't be interrupted for the next 10 or 15 minutes. So you can have some nice music going. Aromatherapy is always helpful. So if you got that, good for you. And just to let you know, orange oil has been proven to reduce anxiety and improve concentration and focus, and lavender oil has been proven to reduce anxiety and promote restful sleep. So either of those oils are fabulous, but there's a whole slew of oils that can be very helpful. Peppermint oil can be invigorating. Lemon, the citrus oils can also be invigorating. But I digress. So get comfortable, hands on your thighs, making sure your spine is straight, feel supported. And I'd like for you to just close your eyes and take just a moment to be mindful of your breathing. So as we arrive here for the meditation, we're bringing like basically kind of our entire day. We're bringing bits and pieces of the people we interacted with, the work that we did, the weather, whatever happened in your day. You bring that with you. And so I'm going to invite you to let that go. So I'm going to invite you to be mindful of what's bouncing around in your head and just imagine turning the volume down on those thoughts. Because once again, they're not real. What's real is this present moment. That's it. That's it. This present moment, that's all we've got. Everything else is just a figment of our imagination because what's happened in the past is gone. It doesn't exist anymore. And what's going to happen in the future is not happening right now. It's also a figment of our imagination. So focusing on our breath brings us into the present moment. It's actually one of the easiest tools that we can use to come into the present moment. And so as you drop into awareness of your breath, I'd like for you to feel your body open and receive the breath, and then release, surrender, and let go of the breath. And so I've mentioned in some other meditations that our in-breath mirrors our ability to receive, to take in, to assimilate, and our exhale mirrors our ability to let go and to surrender. And so just be mindful of how your breath feels today. If you'd like, you can take some nice exhales, some nice deep sighs. So breathing in, imagining drawing in kind of that positive, pure energy. And breathing out, imagining yourself giving your body permission to let go of all that you don't need. And so breathing in, feeling the body receive the air, feeling how your lungs expand, your shoulders may lift a little bit, your spine may lengthen on the in-breath. And then as you exhale, inviting every muscle to release, just like 5% of tension that it's holding. Your thighs and your calves, your glutes, your spine and your shoulders, your head. And so just taking a few moments to drop into your breath. If you notice your mind wanders, which it will, just be mindful that you wandered and come back into awareness of your breath. Inviting yourself to let go of the day, inviting yourself to let go of that monkey mind, that constant chatter. And give yourself the gift of the next 10 or 15 minutes to get centered, to ground yourself, and shift your state of mind. And so stay focused on the breath, feeling the breath coming in, feeling the breath going out, inviting the large muscle groups to relax, inviting yourself to release any self-criticism, any self-judgment, any negativity, any toxins. So imagining, we all ingest toxins. If you go outside of your house, or if you're inside of your house, there's toxins inside of our houses. So throughout the day, we get exposed to certain things. So invite your body to let go of those toxins. Let go of anything that you don't need. And just really surrender to the exhale. And so we're just going to do a quick little body scan. So I want you to bring awareness to your feet. And stay present with your breath, but be mindful of your feet resting on the earth. Taking a few breaths and imagining on the exhale, releasing any tightness, any gripping you may be feeling in your feet. There's a lot of people who walk around with plantar fasciitis. So just imagining the bottoms of the feet releasing, the toes, the arches, and the heels. And allowing your awareness to move up into your ankles, your shins, and your calves. And taking a few breaths to release any tension you might be feeling in your lower legs or your feet. And moving up into your knees and your thighs. Noticing any tension you might be feeling in your thighs. Front of the thighs, the quads, the back of the thighs, and the hamstrings. Imagining with each out breath, surrendering any tension in your legs. Just feeling your legs completely letting go and surrendering to gravity. Knowing that you are completely supported in this moment, knowing that you are completely safe in this moment. staying present with the breath, coming in and going out. Bringing awareness up into the pelvis and into the hips. We carry so much tension in our glute muscles. It's remarkable. In our glutes, in our hamstrings, and in our lower backs. We are a nation of lower back issues. And so imagining as you exhale, releasing the glute muscles, relaxing the hips, softening the lower back, softening the abdomen. Imagining your body unwinding from the feet, up through the legs, into the pelvis, and into the abdomen. And taking a moment just to be mindful of your belly, noticing if your belly moves as you breathe. When we have a very nice, relaxed, deep breath, the diaphragm descends into the abdomen and displaces the abdominal organs. So it gives a massage to the abdomen, to the intestines, and the spleen, the pancreas, the bladder, the sexual organs. So that movement of the diaphragm into the belly actually pushes the belly out a little bit. And so feeling that kind of freedom of movement in the belly is a good thing as we breathe, because it is mirroring our level of relaxation. And it's actually mirroring what would be a more appropriate breath for a human being. We've been conditioned to hold our bellies in, told to do so. Our clothing is very restrictive, and we also walk on hard surfaces most of the time, which causes us to hold our bellies in, because otherwise everything would jiggle all around. It would be very uncomfortable. So since most of us walk on hard surfaces, it causes us to restrict our breath. And so seeing if you can feel the belly open, release. Moving into awareness of the spine, seeing if you can feel the spine gently lengthen and then release on each out breath. Moving into awareness of the ribs, the lungs, the shoulders. Feeling with each in-breath, feeling the spine lengthen, the ribs gently open. You may even feel the shoulders move as you breathe. Each exhale is an invitation to soften and release. Imagining your upper arms relaxing and your lower arms softening in your hands. Moving into awareness of your neck, shoulders, the back of your head. Being mindful, each exhale is an invitation to let go. Each exhale is an invitation to soften and relax. And each breath is an invitation to come into the present moment. What's going on right here, right now? As you soften your throat, soften the muscles in the back of the head. Release your scalp. Release your ears and your temples. And the next exhale, softening the forehead and the eyebrows. The third eye, that space right between the two eyebrows, which I pretty much walk around perpetually furrowed. Just imagining the face softening, imagining the skull softening, the muscles of the head softening with each exhale. Staying present with your breath, coming in and going out. Coming in and going out. And relaxing your jaw. You can open and close your jaw a few times. You can do a nice lion's breath. So in yoga, you take a deep breath in, and then you open your mouth and you stick out your tongue, and you do a nice deep exhale. It always makes me laugh. But it helps eliminate toxins. It helps activate the vagus nerve, the parasympathetic nervous system, by engaging the tongue. So you do one more nice lion's breath. So take a deep breath in, open your mouth, stick out your tongue. And then come back into awareness of your breath. And notice if the quality of the breath has changed since we began. So we spent about 5 minutes doing a little guided relaxation. So just be mindful of how that might have changed your physical state of being or your mental state of being. And then I'd like for you to move your awareness down into your heart space. So right in the middle of the chest, right in the middle underneath the breastbone. So to the right of your physical heart. I want you to bring your awareness into the space, and I'd like for you to imagine there's a sphere, a glowing sphere in this space. So the heart chakra is green, so you can imagine it green, but I always imagine it gold. I don't know why. It can be any color or no color, but I just want you to really be mindful of this space. And as you breathe, I want you to imagine that that sphere expands on the in-breath and then releases on the exhale. So it expands on the in-breath and releases on the exhale. And as you drop awareness into this heart space, I want you to connect with the emotions of the heart. So it can be the emotion of love, compassion, generosity. Whatever comes up for you today, just connect with whatever kind of feeling or emotion you're having in your heart today. And then imagine if that emotion is linked to a person that you've known in your life. So it could be someone, and I'd like for you to work with someone who might not be here on this earth plane anymore. So perhaps a grandparent, that tends to be the most common. Could be a parent, it could be a sibling, it could be a friend, could have been a neighbor who was very supportive, an old teacher. Somebody who you felt loved you very deeply. Somebody who was able to see you for who you are. And if you can't think of a person, I want you to imagine a guardian angel or a spiritual guide, or it can even be your higher self. So, if you're not a very spiritual person, just imagine that it's your higher self, that higher knowing, that witness mind. And just imagining connecting with that feeling of unconditional self-regard, unconditional love and acceptance. And as you're breathing and staying with the breath, I want you to imagine that that person, if it's a grandparent or a guardian angel or just that energy, or even if it's just your higher self, kind of moves in behind you and has these magnificent wings that kind of come around and envelop you in this energy of unconditional self-love, unconditional love. And as you continue breathing, imagine kind of that feeling of love, whatever emotion came up for you. I want you to just imagine that those wings are kind of amplifying that emotion. And so not only do you feel it resonating in your heart, you feel it resonating outside of you. And every time you breathe, it's like you're breathing in that positive emotion of either love or compassion or generosity, connection, whatever came up. So you're breathing it in and you're breathing it out. And as you breathe it in, feeling that kind of enveloping energy of the wings of this being around you, feeling yourself being nurtured, cradled, and seen. Imagining as you breathe in, that energy of the emotion moves into every cell of your body. So you breathe in love, and love kind of infuses every cell in your body. And love pushes out anything that you don't need, any negativity, any self-doubt, any self-criticism. Boop, it's out. And you breathe it out. You let it go. If the emotion was compassion, feel your self-compassion. Feel yourself breathing in, and that self-compassion infuses every cell in your body, just like the oxygen that you're breathing in is going into every cell in your body. That self-compassion moves through the cell, and the cell spits out anything it doesn't need, any toxins, any negativity, any tension, tightness. If you notice yourself distracted by the myriad noises in my environment, my dog, my neighbor mowing his lawn, just recognize you heard those noises, but come back into the meditation. Come back into your breath. Come back into that feeling of being enveloped by these remarkable wings of self-acceptance. And then come back into that feeling of infusing your body with this positive emotion. And if you notice your mind drifts off, just come back into awareness that you drifted off and come back into the meditation. And just taking a few more nice, deep, slow breaths, infusing your body with this feeling of love, compassion, unconditional love. And then very gently just imagine that enveloped feeling, like gently releasing as this entity or this energy kind of pulls back into itself and goes back to wherever it came from. Heaven or the ethers or your subconscious mind. And come back into just awareness of your breath and notice if there's been any changes in your body. Notice if there's been any changes in your awareness. Notice if there's any changes in perhaps tension you might have been holding, or difference in how your breath feels, how your body feels, what's going on in your brain and your mind. How do you feel about yourself right now, and how do you feel about the world? And then take just a few more breaths and send a little bit of gratitude to that entity or that being or that energy. Just thank it. Even if it's your higher self, it's still a gift. So send out a little bit of gratitude. If you'd like to send out a little bit of gratitude to perhaps some people that were in your life today or this week, a little gratitude to, I don't know, anything that might have touched you today, that lifted your spirits, that altered your state. The trees, the blue sky, the birds. I smiled at a crazy squirrel today running across the street, man. That guy was on a suicidal mission, but he made it. And that made me smile. I was very grateful he made it. So I'll send a little gratitude out to that squirrel. And then very gently, you can bring a little bit of movement to your fingers and your toes. I always like to bring my chin to one shoulder and then my chin to the other shoulder because I always get tension in my neck. I think I carry a lot of, I repress a lot of energy movement through my neck, and so it always feels good to roll my neck after meditation. It always feels good to roll my neck anytime, actually. You can shrug your shoulders. Just do anything that feels good. Point and flex your toes. Just gently kind of bringing awareness back into your body. And when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes. Welcome back. I hope you found this helpful. You can do this meditation anytime. I literally will do it in my car. I'll do it when I'm standing in the grocery line. When I remember. Um, I do it when I'm really feeling low, and I find it shifts my state of mind pretty quickly and reminds me that I'm not alone, because we're not alone and we are all in this together. And so I would encourage you to practice this meditation, practice any meditation, of course. And I'd like to say thank you for joining me tonight. Tracy and I have been working hard at establishing Torch, Wellness Center. And I think we're in the next few months, I'm really looking forward to us starting to build some kind of ancillary, is that the right word for it, aspects of Torch Wellness Center. So I really want to try to build a Patreon page this fall. I would really like to do a radical reframe workshop that will probably be 8 weeks. And we'll meet once a week and kind of go through my book, Radical Reframe, each of the chapters, and discuss it. And I'll do some exercises and create some worksheets to help everybody go a little bit deeper into understanding themselves and then learning how to change, that internal dialogue and shift that internal belief system. So please, if you're not on my newsletter, contact us at torchwellness@gmail.com and let us know if you'd like to be added to the newsletter, because all of this information will come out on that. You can also sign up for the newsletter at my website, torchwellness.com. I'm very excited about that. Got that finished earlier this year. It's pretty new and exciting. Still needs to be tweaked, but it's pretty good. We may be changing the format of the meditations a little bit. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear from everybody and see what they think, see what they think's helpful. I'm thinking of posting a meditation for this time, but it would be a pre-recorded meditation rather than doing Facebook Live. And then doing maybe a few posts on Twitter or Instagram and Facebook. That would be kind of like a daily, like 5-minute meditations. They'd be a little bit shorter, but my hope would be to intersperse them throughout the week or the day to remind people all you got to do 3 minutes, 5 minutes. It's no 1 minute. It doesn't matter. And kind of offer a little bit more, but in a much shorter time. So if you could please give us your thoughts, I'd really appreciate that. You can give it to us on our Torch Wellness page. You can give it to us on Twitter. Um, there are so many ways you can communicate with us. Facebook, uh, email, phone call, smoke signal. However, I might not be able to read the smoke signal though. Anywho, so I hope this was helpful. I really appreciate you guys, and I appreciate you coming and taking the time out for yourself. Because in the end, this is really about you. And it's more than that. It's about you, it's about us, but it's about raising the vibration of the planet. It's about perhaps showing people through our own example that there's a better way to be. And that better way to be is centered and peaceful and kind and compassionate. And that, like I said, that starts with us. And if you want to change your life, it's going to start from within. So thanks for joining me tonight to start that path of changing your life by starting from within. So have a good evening, have a good week, and we will see you soon or later. Thank you. Bye-bye.